Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So, with this particular video, I'm going to start off by saying I have nothing at all against Ken Tamplin, his vocal coaching academy or his course or anything that he does, his music, his singing. I've never accused him of using auto-tune or pitch correction. In fact, in the last video I made, I stated that I've never heard him use pitch correction or auto-tune, which these days is a very rare thing. So I'm totally honest about all of that. And I have no vocal course of my own. I'm not a vocal coach, even though I do sing. I have learned to sing from scratch and I do write my own songs and, sell my music, all that kind of stuff. But none of that I promote on my channel with my analysis videos. They are purely objective analysis videos. So as you subscribers will know, I don't get involved with YouTube drama or anything like that. And I didn't even want to make this video. But because it relates now directly to me, because Ken has been linking people to a video that he thinks is something that it's not, and I have tried to explain that to him, but he's ignored my comment and is still posting the same thing after I've tried to help him by explaining it. But there are other things that have come to light now, and I think it's really important that people view everything, as I'm about to present here in this video, they view everything with a critical mind, with critical thinking. And that's something that Ken asks his subscribers to do. So I totally agree. So the first thing that I want to draw your attention to is this comment that was made on Ken's channel, and Ken replied to it. You can pause the video if you guys want to read it all the way through, because I'm just going to give a rough outline as to what's being said. But basically, somebody is asking for clarity on the issue that I brought up with my analysis, just with the objective data. And he said that it's a compelling case. So Ken replied, and I'm going to read all of this. Ken said, "My headset mic was on the entire time in the concert. There was no manipulation of bringing the mic on and off during the concert to make it appear one way or the other. It was on all the time. There were backing tracks playing the backing vocals. Those tracks did contain some lead vocals." At that point, I don't even need to say anything. That is case closed. And this is Ken making this comment. Now, what you might find interesting is that this comment has since been removed. And this was a screen grab, and I actually got screen grabs from other people. Of course, they started emailing me immediately saying, Ken has just replied saying that there were lead vocals on his backing track. So, going back to my analysis video, why would there be the same line over the top of itself over 34 years? Because it's the same audio. It is the lead vocal from the recording. And this is something that Ken has said and then removed. The analysis that I did proved with the objective data that there was a lead vocal on there. And that lead vocal was recorded in 1990, maybe before, but it was the vocal from the original recording. That's exactly what Ken is saying here. So just for reference, I'm totally honest on my channel. I don't delete any comments in my comment section under my videos. You'll find trolls in there and I address them in my live streams in Troll Corner. And I think once you get to a certain point, maybe 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can't avoid trolls. They will be there. So if there are any videos that are 100% positive the whole way through, that has been edited by the channel. And of course, that's their prerogative to do that on their own channel. So I'm not having a go at that. But I'm stating everything that I do, all the comments that are made on my channel are there for everybody to view. And I don't delete any of the comments from other people, but I don't delete comments from myself that I've made to other people. So I think it's a really important distinction to make, that everything is either honest, or when it isn't honest, you then have to start covering your tracks and either deleting replies or deleting videos. So this is where I mentioned that the analysis video that I made was on a live stream that Ken was miming along to a backing track which had his original vocal from 1990 on. And it matched. It was objective, and that is proof. So one line went over the other line to the 100th of a second to 0 cents, which is impossible to do. So that was his vocal from 1990. Once I released my video, that video was removed from Ken's channel. So he got rid of that video. It doesn't exist anymore. The other video that I looked at was his 4K footage of the recent gig. And I just analysed one song as I was asked to do. That's all I do on my channel. They are requests, each analysis video. So we looked at that 4K footage. I did the analysis. And again, the lines match up with that 1990 vocal. So it is the same audio. That footage, after I released my video, was removed by Ken on his channel. So that doesn't exist anymore. Now, the point that I want to make is, I want you to try and follow the logic. If you say, and you definitely did sing live, you have video proof and audio proof that you sang live, because you've got it on your channel. So how does it make any sense to delete your own proof? If you say, no, I did sing live, and here's the video from that show, here's the proof, and then they say, oh, well, let's watch it. And then he says, well, no, I've deleted it. So, well, why have you deleted your proof? And then say, well, let's have a look at the live stream. They say, well, yeah, I was singing live then as well. They said, well, cue it up, we'll have a look. Oh no, I deleted that as well. It doesn't make any sense in any world to delete your proof. So I just want to point you in the direction of another analysis video that has been carried out. And this one uses something called phase invert. And I'm going to explain what that is and also why I don't use that in my videos. But simply put, if you imagine you've got an audio file and you can imagine that you've got lots of peaks of the volume all kicking off, and all of those peaks hit a very particular point. And I am really simplifying this, but if you imagine you put a mirror underneath that, you will get a perfect reflection of everything that's going on. With all of these peaks, you'll get exactly the same that's being taken away on the other side. So that's what happens when you have the phase inverted. You have the exact same signal, but the opposite of it. If you have a phase invert switch, for example, and you've got exactly the same audio and it's perfectly lined up, it will cancel itself out. You won't hear anything because it's the perfect replication of its opposite. So if you've got exactly the same audio, that's what happens. And this is what has happened in this analysis. And I'm going to leave a link to this in the description below. They've used the audio from Ken's original record, but also of the live performance to hear the difference between the singing when he is actually singing, which I pointed out in my analysis video, the points at which he is providing a live vocal, and then when the lead vocal on the backing track kicks in. So you can check out this video, listen to it, and see if you can notice any difference. Now, something that Ken does say is that there might have been, or there was, but he deleted it, there was a lead vocal on that backing track, but he sang all the time. This would prove or disprove that he was singing all the time, because if he were singing all the time, again, you wouldn't hear any difference because his voice would now, the same signals would be cancelling themselves out and you'd just be left with his lead vocal that is clearly different to the other vocal. So the only way you will hear a difference with this particular test is if he didn't sing at all at that point. Oh, and the reason that I don't do this on my channel is because I believe that using the pitch monitoring software and analysing pitch, especially when it comes to vocals, every 100th of a second is better and I think more reliable because you get a visual result. You're not listening to it. You're not making a subjective determination with your ears, because everybody hears things differently potentially, but seeing something on screen that is over the top of each other 3 times, and then I kind of drag to show it's just, been overlapped. That is something that you can't deny, that is exactly the same thing 3 times over. So I'm just going to edit this into my video, and just to be clear, this didn't make up my first analysis video or my follow-up video that I did, but I have been sent this a lot and I have seen other YouTube channels focusing on this footage. This was a video that was uploaded but then removed, and then Ken uploaded another version of the live performance. But have a listen to this. You can clearly hear that his voice cuts out there, unfortunately. And he gives the mic a bit of a shake. You know, but that's what happens with live vocals. You know, that kind of thing can happen. But anyway, we'll go to the upload at the same point of...
You know what's standing on what's up.
And you can now hear that that part of the performance is now, I mean, clearly overdubbed. And interestingly, he's still kind of shaking the mic, and he goes on to say that his mic cut out or something.
Thank you. Something. One sec. Something cut out on me here. Yeah! It's working now.
So anyway, I mean, there's no explanation for this really, why with somebody filming it from the front of the stage, you can hear his voice give up and he doesn't get the note. And then with the new upload, the vocal is now pristine and sounds totally different to the rest of it, and is, yeah, sounds like it is recorded in a studio. But I thought I would include this just because a lot of people have been sending it to me, but I just want to reiterate that this didn't make up my analysis in the first video or my follow-up video. Now, this video might be quite a long one tonight because I'm only just getting started. We now have this other comment, and this person said, Ken Tamplin, these people are jealous of you and your singing. And then Ken says, this guy, linking to, and then says the proof is in the singing, linking to my parody X Factor audition. And I have tried my best to explain this to Ken so that he's not making the same mistake over and over and over again. But I've explained it in the bottom here. And again, I want to try to get everybody to think logically about this and, you know, with their critical mind, critical thinking. I'm not a fan, and everyone who's watched my channel will know I'm not a fan of TV talent shows. And I've said in the past, and I do think it's more about the TV than the talent. It's about getting ratings, and it's about the judges and all that kind of stuff. So when I say that, somebody might say, well, I don't agree with that, actually. I think it is about the talent, and it's not about the TV side of it. What proof do you have that it's not about talent, it's about just the TV side? And I would say, I've done it. I have been on there, and I have gone on there for the sole purpose of getting on TV, and in my auditions, I walked out of the room. And what I'm going to do actually is edit in the footage from, 11 years ago now? Because I filmed it, and I kept a record of everything that I was doing to prove that you can get through round after round after round and find yourself at Wembley Arena in front of the judges.
Where is it? Oh my god. Well. Oh my god. Well, we weren't expecting that.
Oh, sorry.
But I was a bit slow off the mark, so I didn't manage to record it. I'm really sorry.
I'm proving the point that I am now on national TV because I haven't done anything that's required talent. So you'll see as well, it's not green screened. Sharon Osbourne and Nicole Scherzinger and Gary Barlow and the other guy, Louis Walsh, they're not actors. I did that. I am showing that my point is valid. I've got a video that is acting as proof. Now, if I thought that that was incriminating in any way, and this was the other side, I always say to musicians, own your publishing. It is really important, because if your song ever gets shown on TV, in a movie, anything like that, you will get royalties for that. And guess what? Every time that audition is shown, Simon Cowell has to pay me a royalty. So that video serves the purpose of A, proving my point, B, showing why it's so important to own your publishing. Now, because I own that song, I can have that video removed, taken down. And TuneCore, the publishing company that look after my music, they are aware of this and they have messaged me in the past to ask if I want to have that video removed. But I don't. Why don't I get it removed? Because it's not incriminating me, and I don't see it as incrimination. It's proving my point. It's the very logic I was talking about earlier. I've got a video that is proving my point. It is video and audio. It is fact. So I keep it on the internet, on YouTube, and I even have a backup just in case X Factor, the YouTube channel that they have, deleted it. I keep it there to show that my point is valid, that it is true, that it is factual. Because guess what? Here's the proof. The only reason you remove something from the internet is if you think it incriminates you. And as you guys know, if you've subscribed to my channel, I'm honest all the time. And I've spoken about this audition multiple times in live streams. People ask me about it and I explain the story. I explain exactly why I did it. And it is making a point and proving a point. But Ken, even though I've explained to him the day before about what that video is, he's still saying this dude and linking people to it. So again, if people want to share this video so people now understand, and I don't think Ken's ever really going to understand what I'm saying, either about the analysis or this video, how it's proving my point. You don't want videos deleted when they prove your point. So I have received a lot of emails and messages and comments asking me to respond to Ken's video that he put out, denying the analysis or the claims that were being made about his performance. And I'm only doing this because he has now directly involved me on his channel in his comments section. So I'm just going to have a quick skip through. We're not going to go through all of it, but I'm just going to explain a few things.
And frankly, I think we killed it. Maybe we killed it so good that we actually had people coming to me and saying, "We think you lip-synced the show."
Now, I didn't say that he lip-synced the whole show. My analysis shows that there were parts of his vocal that were live and then other parts that weren't live. And whether you call that lip-synced or mimed is up to you. And again, if you want more clarification on that, go to that video in the description below. So I'll just let it play on a little bit more.
And it's funny because we had a gob of KTVA advocates rushing to my rescue to go line by line to prove how different the live performance was from the studio recordings. In fact, one guy actually said that he identified over 100 places in a 70-minute set of how different the live performance was compared to studio performances.
So you can see at the bottom as well that there are little bits that are written out as well, just I guess emphasizing the key points. So Ken has said that somebody's gone through the whole performance and apparently has proof of over 100 differences or something like that. And I mean, with my analysis, of course there will be differences because I'm pointing out that Ken is singing live, but there are parts that aren't live. That's what the analysis shows. But I did have a look through the comments section, and I mean, as I come down here, some people have said, "Oh, well, have you got a link to the proof video?" And then Ken says, links are in the description below. But the links to the videos are trolls, haters, the live performance, why does YouTube show you the same videos, clickbait, all this kind of stuff. So there's no video to somebody objectively pointing out proof of 100 differences, even though there would be, because there are live vocals in there. So even in the one song that I pointed out, if you're going through at hundredths of a second by hundredths of a second, you will find not hundreds of differences, probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions. And I'm literally talking about, every hundredth of a second. But when the backing track then comes in with the lead vocal, it will match up. That's the point. But then as I scroll down, I didn't realize that the proof that Ken is referring to is somebody has literally just written, never stop, different, can't you see? Oh, that I'm racing time. It's on with the goal. And they just go through the lyrics and they say different, in time, it'll all work out. So this is the proof. Or at least this is what Ken is referring to as proof that, well, it can't have been the same because look, this person's written out the lyrics of the song, but he's written different in capital letters, so it must have been different. So for me, that isn't proof. So I'll just let it play on a little bit more.
Unfortunately, these websites decided to go ahead and delete everybody's comments because it didn't sell the narrative.
I haven't deleted anybody's comments. I never do. Check my comment section. There are trolls all over the place. But that's normal for a comment section.
That they wanted to get more views, more clicks. Now let me explain this.
Okay, now talking about more views, more clicks, all that kind of stuff. As I've already said, I've got no skin in this game. That there's no incentive for me to try and say that Ken can't sing, or that his technique isn't good, or that his vocal course is, not what it should be, all this kind of stuff. I don't have a vocal course. Because Ken has, brought me into the conversation now, saying about, and I'm assuming that he's referring to my channel. He may not be, but like I said, I'm in the discussion now. So saying that I'm doing it to get more views, I've got just the data for the last 30 days on my channel and Ken's channel. And I'll get this on screen so you can maybe see it a little bit more closely, that over the last, 30 days, I've had 2.8 million views, and Ken's channel has had 1.33, is that? Oh, it's 2.88 and 1.33. So I've had over double the views on my channel that Ken has had on his channel. So saying that I'm doing it to try and build up my views, it doesn't make any sense. And this is all objective data that you can look at, if you want to. This is the point that I'm making, that I'm being totally honest on my channel all the time. So I'm not doing it to try and get more views. I'm answering somebody's request for an analysis video and presenting the objective data, and therefore coming to a conclusion with that objective data to show what is fact and what is fiction, and then I move on to the next request. That's literally as simple as it is.
Into this. So the more outrageous you can be, the more sensationalistic you can be, fraud, exposed, it's over, all these different things that they
I've never said anything like that on my channel. It's an objective analysis video.
use these tactics. They do it for views. Like I said, I don't really even blame these guys, because they're incentivized to do this, and the algorithms are incentivized to do this so that they can get more views and make more money. This is not about investigative reporting, okay?
It's exactly what it is. With my analysis videos, they are objective, and I don't have any opinion on it because it is fact. I'm not saying I think this is one thing. I'm literally showing what it is. That's the difference. So it's exactly what it is objective, and it is critical thinking. Ultimately, that's what it is. And I hope that watching this video, you guys are still using that approach, just taking in everything that I'm showing here, everything that I'm saying, and showing the proof of on screen, and making your own decisions about it.
Now, getting back to my KTVA advocates, when the post showed clearly how many different places there were that I sang live, or that were different from the live to the studio recordings, a lot of people backed up and said, okay, well, wait a minute. Maybe you didn't lip sync the show after all, but you used backing tracks.
He didn't lip sync. Again, I'm just repeating the same thing. If you'd watched the analysis video, I clearly show that he's not lip syncing the whole thing, just particular sections.
I'm like, yeah, I did use backing tracks. In fact, a lot of bands use it. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I would have loved to have had a 60-piece choir singing all the anthemic stuff that we do as a big anthemic band. But let me do a quick Google search. This is a short list of who either has used backing tracks.
Now, this is interesting because Ken is about to talk about backing tracks, and I'm totally honest about backing tracks. I had to use one for a gig where a bassist cancelled 3 days before a festival, and then I had to spend the next 2 days, as it was then, recording bass for the whole set, trying to get it on Logic Pro 8, which it was back then, and try and do a click track for the drummer. It was an absolute pain in the you-know-what, but I had to do that. Otherwise, we'd cancel the festival, which wasn't something that I was going to do. So I've used a backing track, and backing tracks are commonplace, and I think musicians know this.
Or are currently using backing
I think even fans know this.
tracks. Are you ready? Check this out. Pink Floyd, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Kiss, Shinedown, Nightwish, U2, Dream Theater, Gold.
So he goes on to list loads of bands and artists that have used backing tracks. Now, a really important distinction to make here is that a backing track is a backing track. It's a track of backing. So, in the backing band, you often have backing singers. They're called backing singers. So that would be on the backing track. You have their vocals on the backing track. That is commonplace. You sometimes have the original guitars in there. And I think for Ken's performance, what they had was obviously the drummer playing to a click, because the timing, it has to be perfect in order for things to match up from the 1990 vocal. So the drummer's playing to a click, and they are live. Ken's got a mic, which is picking up sound. The guitarist is live, so there'll be a mic in front of his amplifier so that he's playing the solos, he's doing the rhythm. What I'm saying is it's backing. The backing behind the singer, that's a backing track. As soon as you start bringing, and again, think logically about this, when you start bringing a lead vocal into the mix, imagine this scenario. You're sitting in the car with your best mate, and on the radio, your favourite song comes on, and you look at each other and think, oh, wow, amazing. And you say, I love this backing track. And then your friend says, no, you mean song. And then you say, well, no, it's a backing track. So this is my favourite backing track. And the other person will say, well, no, this is a song. This is the complete song. It's got the lead vocal on it. It's the complete song. No, it's the same thing, backing track and a song. That's why, you know, when Adele is about to release her new backing track, that's why it is said as that. And even trying to say it, I can't even say it correctly because everybody knows what a backing track is. It doesn't have a lead vocal. A backing track with a lead vocal is a song.
I think I'm in pretty good company because it's a lot more practical to do that now than to try to hire a bunch of singers.
And I absolutely agree with this point, that it is more practical to have a backing track. But again, a lead vocal isn't on a backing track.
I only had 3 days to rehearse 13 very, very difficult metal songs. We chose the instrumentation, but it is me singing. Now, I want to say something else. Beyond Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, we must become critical thinkers.
Yes, I totally agree with this.
This goes far beyond some puny little thing in KTVA that I'm some small cog in the wheel of what's really going on here. What's going on here is that if we're not critical thinkers, we're going to let all of the news media do our thinking for us.
The sharing of biased and
I think this is maybe going into something else. I'm in the UK, so I don't really keep up with US news or anything, so maybe Ken's making a bit of a different point here.
I think pretty much all of true, genuine investigative reporting or journalism has just gone in the toilet, and it's all about getting views.
Well, I beg to differ, but subscribers to my channel will know what I do and that I'm as open as possible all the time.
And clickbait and outrageous things. So I also recognize that I'm one of the few vocal coaches.
And by the way, if you've seen my channel, you'd have seen the people I've interviewed and the people that have supported the channel. For example, a few weeks ago, you would have noticed Seal, the vocalist, the recording artist, commenting under either one or two of my videos. So we have genuinely great artists watching my channel and commenting and getting involved. And you've seen the interviews that I've done with great singers, like Shirley Lewis, for example, a massively in-demand backing vocalist. He's sung for George Michael and Elton John and so many people. Phil Palmer, the guitarist, played with Eric Clapton. He was his second guitarist, 20 years, maybe 25 years? Played for Dire Straits. You've got people who support my channel and that I'm very fortunate to know. They would not get involved with someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, but also doesn't have any integrity and just making stuff up and it's just doing videos for views and for shock. Those kind of people, they're true artists. They don't care about money. They don't care about views. It's all about their artistic vision and their integrity and their honesty. People might, well, they know who I am now, ironically. We're saying, oh, who are you? But I stay outside the music industry. I might be known inside the music industry for what I do, but I stay outside of it because I don't want any part of the music industry. I'm fine doing everything myself, and I literally do everything myself. Anyway, we'll watch on.
On the internet that actually sings himself and has students singing. In fact, we have over 1,800 videos out there. I'd love to see other people come up to the table and see what they're actually doing instead of just, clickbaiting people into whatever they want to get for their views.
Yeah, so again, I mean, I've never said that Ken isn't a great coach and that his course isn't great and all those things. I've just done an objective analysis.
And I say this because I know it leaves me vulnerable and susceptible to a lot of criticism, and I'm willing to accept that. But I will say this for all of the lip sync accusers out there. Hey! Now, it's not like I can pull Jiminy Cricket out of my pocket to do that for me. That's really me singing. And what I'm going to suggest to you is you need to put on your critical hat, put the two shows side by side, and evaluate it yourself. Don't let someone do your thinking for you.
Exactly. And I mean, again, I'm not really sure what holding a note proves or disproves. So if I went, yeah, if I did that, it doesn't make what I'm saying any more valid or any less valid.
Whether it's KTVA, the general news media, politics, or whatever, start thinking for yourself. Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is still in the singing.
So, and there we have it. That was the video. Unbelievably, this video isn't finished yet. So I'm now going to be pointing out a few other things. And again, think critically, take Ken's advice on this, because when you're evaluating what somebody's saying, it's really important to try and get some kind of character reference. So if there's one thing that I definitely do know, it's playing the guitar, because I've taught guitar for almost 20 years. So when somebody's not playing the guitar, I can show you exactly how they're not playing the guitar. The first video that you see when you go to Ken's channel is this, and I'm just going to let it play through.
Hold on. Stop looking for a singer. That singer is you. Some of you guys know me as an award-winning singer, but I actually started out as a guitar player. Check this out. As a guitarist.
Okay, so that solo that we heard, I mean, first of all, just not getting into the technique of it, making the faces and looking at the camera when you're actually playing, and you might be doing alternate picking, you might be playing a particular line, you don't look at the camera and go and make a face as if it's really difficult, because you are really concentrating on what you're doing. So it just looks a little bit weird. But anyway, look, I mean, I'm not going to go through it. All I need to do is just play the last part to show that he's not actually playing what we're hearing. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time, so I spot everything, even slightly out of sequence vibrato, because that's always a giveaway. And another thing that's a giveaway are bends. So when we get to this last section, what I want you to do is watch Ken's hand and listen, because when Ken moves his hand, the note he's playing continues to ring out. Have a listen. I've also decreased it by 50% speed. So there, he's made a whole shift with his hand, but the bend continues. Like that. So, what I'm saying is that you know, with the very first video you see of his, if you've got an eye for the detail as I have, you will see that he's not actually playing this, that he's saying, oh yeah, I used to play guitar. And by the way, I'm not saying that he can't play the guitar. He can obviously play the guitar, but what I'm saying is trying to get a kind of character reference going on as a background of whether they're uploading videos that they're not really saying that, oh, I'm not playing this. I've obviously done comp takes of a particular solo, stuck it together, and then I'm miming along for my intro video. They're not saying any of that. So this very first video you see of his channel is not playing the guitar. So this really led me down a rabbit hole. The next video that I saw of Ken playing the guitar was this one. So we'll just have a little look at this. And by the way, if you're worried about, you know, any videos being, you know, doctored or anything like this, look, this is Ken's channel, Sing Hallelujah to the Lord. So you guys can go and check this out on his channel. Now the problem is, when you're not honest in the first place, it's just going to snowball. So you're potentially going to have to start removing loads of videos if someone like me goes through it and can point out when stuff isn't actually happening. Watch this. There, we have this. And this is another thing about Ken's vibrato. You can hear, you know, it's quite wide all the time, and sometimes he kind of goes into this, which won't give you any kind of dramatic vibrato. But anyway, this, he kind of bends his finger, and you can see quite clearly, again, he's left the string, but miraculously, somehow with, I don't know, maybe a ghost is fretting the note. So yeah, I'll just play that for you in slow motion. Even though at full speed you can still see that he's not on that note. And even worse, it goes, there's a bend. So he's not playing this solo. And again, slightly out of sequence vibrato there. But all this, you know, he's obviously got technique in there. I'm not saying that he doesn't play. You can tell that he plays, but he isn't playing here. Again, I'm just building up this almost, you know, character in order to see whether they are going to be honest with you or not. That was so far off the vibrato, the speed of the shaking, but then what we heard. Yeah, there you go. There's that vibrato I was talking about. Oh, was there another slide there that happened too quickly? Yeah, he just slid before. Oh, and there we go, there's another one. So let me just take that back. And we're watching slow motion so you can catch it that he slides, but then the note's still playing. Oh, and he's actually vibratoing, or applying vibrato, and he's moved away from it again. So, yeah, I mean, I think you probably get... Again, watch this video thinking critically. Just, you know... Look at what we're looking at, and my history as a musician, as a guitarist for over 30 years, that he's not playing this. And if he's not playing this, is there a chance that he might not be totally honest about something else that he says he is doing? And there's a slide in there that he didn't do. Didn't do the vibrato. And this is the thing that I don't understand. Or at least it just doesn't... I don't know why you would do this. If you're not playing the solo, why... If you're not playing it, why would you get into this so much? as if you are doing it. Hang on. Okay, just for reference, ladies and gentlemen, Ken has just played a note that he doesn't have on his fretboard. He's just played a note that you would need a 24 fret guitar for. The highest note he has is this. And we're going na 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 na. He's going even higher than that. And he's not using, you know, a Floyd Rose pulling up on that in order to get the pitch. So he's literally just played a note that doesn't exist on his guitar. He's playing a Squire here. Oh, hang on, he's actually got he's got one less fret than I do. So it makes it even more miraculous that he's getting that note, because I can get higher. But he's getting na he's going all the way up there. I'm going to let you listen to that again. There. So that note doesn't exist on his guitar. Neither does that note. He doesn't have that fret. If I move my hand up to the fret, that's the sound. It isn't a fret, so you're not going to get a good sound from it. More sliding issues. Wow, that was a good slide at the end that didn't happen. There you go. All right, let me just listen to this. So we've got this it's that kind of slide that we have. Oh, it's actually again really wide vibrato and sliding down. Yeah, and the slide happens, but his hand stays where it is. Again, just for half speed. There, the slide's already happened. He can obviously play the guitar, as he can obviously sing. What I'm trying to show you is somebody's background or their history of saying that they're doing something, but then what you're looking at is them not doing it. They're pretending to do it. And he sings, so, I mean, you can say he plays the guitar, but he's pretended to play guitar. So, if he sings, could he pretend to sing? That's up for you to, you know, decide for yourselves, given the evidence that I've shown you. A lot of people, when Ken doesn't state that this is just for show, that he's not doing any of this, because of the way it is set up, people assume this is live because he's got the mic there, he's got the headphones on, he's got the guitar out, he's pretending to play it. So people are assuming they're hearing what they're seeing. But this is like a cover video. And I do cover videos and I'm very open about it, that I've only got one camera. So it means that if you see me performing a cover and there's a change to another shot, I've had to do it all over again. So it's not one continuous shot. I've had to record me playing guitar. I've had to record me, you know, playing bass, singing, doing the harmony vocals, all that stuff. I've had to record that independently. And I'm very open about that. And that's why I do my cover videos in that way. The only videos that I have where it is filmed like this, I do it in one take. So I recorded myself singing and then pressed record again and harmonized with myself, so that it's a true representation of what I sound like in that situation. And again, to finish with, I've got, you know, no skin in this game. I don't gain anything from doing this video, but when I'm brought into the conversation personally and Ken is linking that parody video that or the audition that I did, I'm now in that conversation, so I'm just going to point out exactly what's going on so you can make your own mind up as to whether you believe what I'm saying or whether you believe what Ken's saying. But just think critically and just take everything on board. And I mean, my advice is just try to rely on objective data, because then you will always get the truth rather than an opinion or hearsay. Oh, just, I've already said finally, but finally again, I think there was a comment on Ken's channel that said, I was part of the sound crew and he was definitely singing live because I was there. The Celine Dion video that I made when she was miming at the opening ceremony of the Olympics, the pianist and even people involved with it came out and said that she was singing live. They outright lied. And I made a follow-up video to that to actually show that she was miming along to a track that was recorded before the rehearsal the night before, because it's a perfect match with the audio, because that's what the pitch analysis software does. It will show you the same audio file. So I did a video on that. So when people come out and they say, oh, it was definitely live, I was there, if people are going to lie about it who are part of the show with Celine Dion, then people can lie. It is hearsay. They can lie about it. It's words. Just saying something or typing something is not proof. Having independent software that I don't design, having Ken's song that I didn't record, getting the same results from that live stream that he did in 2020 and the live performance 2024, and getting that to match with the 1990 vocal, that's objective. So just as a final thing, and I promise this video will then be over and I'm not going to make another one, I want to just reference a comment that I showed earlier in this video, because this is fundamentally why I have made time to make this video. As an artist, if somebody, and even as a video creator, if somebody questions my integrity, my authenticity, my honesty, I am going to answer that accusation and show that I am honest. And I'm going to give you objective data to prove that I am being honest. So when reading this comment, the person is asking for the video that shows the proof of the 100 things that are different, or 100 plus things. But then Ken says, there are links in the video description of this video, as well as descriptions of differences that one of my students provided. I have not created a line-by-line video that incorporates proving or disproving all of this. I have no doubt that those trying to prove me to be a fake will go to extremes to try to refute that I sang the concert live. There isn't enough time in a day for me to go into that kind of detail. My detractors have nothing better to do. Please think for yourself. People will believe what they want to believe. So, basically, Ken is saying my integrity is not worth me spending time on, because they're just going to say the opposite. So there's no point in me proving my case, which again, think about this logic. It does not make any sense. It's like somebody has accused you, or you've been charged with murder, and they say, how do you plead? And they say, well, I haven't got time for the court case, so I plead guilty. It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic in there. I don't understand this on any level, how Ken is saying that I'm not going to refute what they're saying. There's no point. I haven't got time for it. It's your artistic integrity. They're questioning you. And again, I have made time to make this video that you're watching now, and this video has gone on for ages because I've wanted to address every part that people are throwing at me, and now that I'm in the discussion and on Ken's channel by name because he is linking me in that video, it is important to me to be seen as honest, because what I do is honest. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this mammoth video, and hopefully you can see it from my point of view. It's the last one I'm going to be making on this because I have other things to be getting on with. I do have other videos that have been requested, so I will be getting into those. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Why not? They're not going to be videos like this. They will be objective analysis videos. But let me know what you guys think, as always, in the comments section below. And I'll catch you guys at the next analysis video. Rock!